Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Revival of America podcast. This is Jenny. I'm the owner and the host of the Revival of America. Today we have Captain Kyle, everybody. Captain is back. He is in the house. So if you have a question for Captain or you want to ask Captain your question yourself, please feel free to raise your hand and I will start unmuting your mics at some point in this podcast and have you ask your question to Captain. Otherwise, if you can't speak, please feel free to write your question in the comment area underneath his picture on the wall. Also, to everybody, please be careful who you listen to, who you follow, what you're putting into your mind. It is whack a doodle out there, guys. I'm telling you, if you don't have a strong mind, just stay out of it. If you don't like what you're hearing, you don't like what you're seeing that's being written in comments, posted, just move past it. No sense in you commenting about it. No sense in you listening to it because I'm telling you guys, we have a lot of distractions going on from the Savannah Guthrie clown show, and that's what that is. It's fake. It's just nothing makes sense about that. You have people it's distractions from everything that's going on with the Epstein files. The 2020 election is about to burst, everybody. So they're going to continue to distract us. They're having quote unquote conservatives go into these chat room spaces, podcasts, pretending to be conservatives, to stir up the conservative movement, to try to break away from the Trump, support. You guys, it's wild, and I'm telling you, it's affecting people. You can see where people are falling for it because they're acting like true conservatives, or they're acting like they're true Trump supporters, but they're really not. So those ones out there that keep pushing all the surface level stuff, the Charlie Kirk stuff, the Israel stuff, and they're just circling the drain, and they're pushing this Iranian, oh, we're going to war, and all this fear mongering, guys, fear mongering. If you feel like it's fear mongering, get out of it, because you're right. Go with your gut. It's fear mongering, but I'm telling you, there's more positive happening than there is bad. So stay with the positive. Stay with those that keep moving with the stories, talking about the children. A lot of people now are talking about the children. You guys, I know it's tough. That's another thing. Since these files are coming out about Epstein, if you can't handle it, don't do it, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Many of us have already gone down these rabbit holes back when they released these files back 6, 7 years ago, when this all came out in the beginning, right? When we were all doing the research. X talks about it like it just happened yesterday. No. So we're so much ahead of the game, you guys, here, because we have done so much of the research already. But again, there is going to be some stuff that's going to come out that maybe you haven't seen. I hear it's going to get more mind twisting and evil, demonic. So please, you don't need to go down those rabbit holes. You don't have to see it if you don't want to. Some people, I don't know. I think I've seen enough to where it scarred my mind for a while, especially when it comes to children, you guys. That I'm pretty good and just doing what I've been doing. I don't need to go down those rabbit holes. We know that it's evil. We know it's demonic. It's beyond evil. So just be careful, guys, because I am telling you, it's wild. I'll sit in some of these rooms or these chats for you, kind of let you know what I'm seeing and hearing. But when it comes to the Epstein, I don't know that I want to travel down many more of those dark holes. But you'll know it. You'll see it. But I'm telling you, these people are becoming more obvious as the days go by. These ops are just these infiltrators. They are the more they speak, the more the stuff they put out there, the more obvious it is. I cannot believe some of the stuff that they're coming up with to try to just talk crap about Donald Trump, right? Like it's absolutely horrifying what they're saying. So just be careful, guys. It's because I care about you guys, and I'm seeing a lot of these messages that people are sending me, and it's horrible. I'm trying to tell them, like, get out of it. Don't listen to it. Don't follow that person anymore. So just please be careful. The floppers, the inconsistencies, the name droppers, the people that keep bashing other people, the me, me, me. run from all of those people, guys, because they're not helping you in a positive direction. So, but there is a lot of great stuff going on out there. So hang on to that and focus on that because we are winning this, guys. But they're not going to go down with the fight, right? So just keep plugging away. You're in the good fight, right? They're scrambling. So know that. Also, too, everybody, if you come in late to this podcast or if you'd like to share it with somebody, please follow us on the podcast host or the social medias. We are being listened to in over 100 countries, so we are making a lot of great noise. You can follow us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Apple, Google, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Podbean, Riverside, Amazon Music. Also, social medias are Jenny Dreed Facebook, at Jenny underscore Dreed X, at J Dreed Rumble, at J Dreed True Social, at J Dreed Instagram, The Revival of America right here on Telegram, The Revival of America over on YouTube. Also, too, if you have a story or a journey, everybody, I'm so proud of all of you that reached out to me and you guys are ready to tell your stories or to have me release them. Super stoked. Did a couple of them today. One, it was very moving. He spoke about his journey in the music industry and how he got out of it and now he's coming back into it. He went into the music industry as an independent. He's still going to be an independent, but he's going to do it not on the dark demonic side of it, right? So amazing producer, music creator. He's great music. So I'll put that up here a little bit. You guys can check that out. But if you guys have a story or a journey to tell, submit your stories to TROA submissions at yahoo.com. I do vet them, everybody, because unfortunately, I do have those shysters that want to make up a fake story just to get on a podcast and try to be relevant. So if I believe it's real, I'll reach out to you via email. We'll get your story, your voice scheduled on the show. Because remember, everybody, it's your story, your voices that are going to help shape this new world that we're coming into. It's the truth, everybody, and that's what we're coming into. So with that, I see Mr. Captain Kyle here on our screen. And guys, it's been a minute since we've seen our favorite captain. I want to say hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. I am here trying to get to my spot, but I'll be there in a minute. So everything
well,
should be good.
well, how are you, my friend? You've been a busy little beaver, and things going good.
All is well. And yes, I have been busy, but idle hand is the devil's playground. So
Amen. How's Renee doing? She's been in my prayers every day.
yeah, she's doing well. So all is good at the home front. And, just blessed. Blessed to be alive, blessed to be participating in God's great plan. And, I just wish there was more time because time is something that we all struggle with and we don't ever get it back. So be wise with it. Use it to benefit yourself and to those that are around you because it's important.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Well, while you're driving, I want to talk to you. You know, we're hearing a lot of, we know 2020 isn't over yet. And I believe, in my opinion, that I think we're going to see it burst wide open here in the coming days, weeks, maybe months. What are your thoughts on that?
It was never over. So we've always known that it's always been a focal point of the illusion that was created for the perpetual control of basically society. And a part of moving forward and waking up is the process of disclosure and actual accountability that's going to be coming from this. So a long time ago, Kim Clement actually made a prophecy, and I think it was about 2011 or so, right? So this was when Obama was in the actual White House and was about to do the second term bullshit, and the military was going to actually do a coup, take him down because they were done with that shit. And
Yep.
not going to go into all the details, but they saw that that was an unrecoverable situation for society because of the Civil War that would have taken place and everything that would have been a part of that. And so they moved forward with the plan in which we are all operating in today, which was Donald Trump coming into the scene and actually being elected lawfully. They didn't install him. They actually prevented the steal. And because they prevented the steal legally and lawfully, he actually won. And because of that, everything was set in motion to basically be to where we're at today. They gave over the control to the military for them to do the things that they needed to do, with the executive office and the executive branch being completely in control of the White Hats and Donald Trump, that could not be actually controlled, manipulated, or influenced or blackmailed. And so they tried. And he was the, as far as it goes, he was like, with everybody, he was beloved by everyone in the entertainment industry, the political realm. He was it until he moved into the office to potentially begin to take them all down. And then he became enemy number one. And that never ended. And the situation of continuity of government was put into place right after he took the oath of office. The military began to step in and do those things that needed to be done, and it has not ended. So I made a video today on it, just put it in right before I got
I'm
on the
going to post it. I'll post it for you right now.
And so it was on, and basically it's talking about the progression of people being able to have their consciousness be in a place so that they could actually begin to see those things that we've seen for years, starting going back all the way to, Jade Helm, when Obama was in office, and that they were preparing to basically have the military come in and deal with all the people that were not controllable. And this was for Hillary. So Hillary was the final part of the 16-year plan that didn't happen, and it had to progress so that when people could begin to see what happened through the time of Obama to the Trump administration, and what actually took place in the Trump administration, the first one, and then the steal, and oh, that was debunked. And so it was never debunked. It was never looked at. It was always shut down by the mainstream media intentionally. And so everything was set up to where people could begin to wake up on a timely basis, that they could actually deal with it. Some woke up because of the COVID, some woke up because of the shot, some woke up because of the corruption and no accountability, and others woke up through basic information. And then others never woke up until the point of where they're at today. So we had George Floyd. George Floyd was a complete setup to basically steal the election, the summer of love, which was all bullshit. And when we presented information that that was all a scam, every bit of it, Floyd never died. And then he comes back with a freaking brother that's his identical twin, and blah, blah, blah. And then Mark Chauvin, the guy that was supposed to have killed him, whenever he's in court, he's not the same guy. People couldn't get it. And it's like, no, it was not him, not even close. But people can't see those things because they can't believe them yet. And so we go from that with Mark Chauvin to basically Epstein, and oh, Epstein hung himself and it wasn't even Epstein. We told people that he wasn't dead and that was a body double and it was bullshit. And then now with Maxwell being that people, everyday people are now actually going, that was not her the other day, because the face is not right. Her eyes are completely off from her ears. You can't change that. You can't change the nose from being where it was a reverse rhinoplasty, where she got a nice, pretty small nose, to now she's got a big fat nose that doesn't even put the wrong direction. Her chin's all wrong. So it's like everything was done back afterwards. Oh, well, she just looks horrible because of prison. No, sorry, but you don't raise and lower the ears accountable to your face. And It's like now people are starting to be able to see all those things that we led them to from the very beginning, and they're the ones asking the questions. So it's like it's great because we don't even have to go back there again because other people are doing those things in which we did 5 years ago and presented all this information. So it's like it's great to see the second and third and fourth wave of people that are waking up to all of this process, that are now stepping up to the plate and doing a fabulous job. Yeah, you've got those influencers out there that are always the roller coaster ride for clicks and everything else, and basically they're full of shit and they're always misleading people in the wrong direction, and because they're frustrated because it's not happening the way they saw it happen. And who gives a shit what you think? Because the military sure doesn't. Donald Trump doesn't. And neither do the White Hats, because they never asked you for your fucking opinion. So keep your mouth shut, because all you're doing is sowing discontent. But what it's doing intentionally is causing people's heart to be exposed and their actual true intentions to be revealed. So if people's hearts, and I'm talking everyone's heart, does not become exposed so that they can actually observe what their intent is in their heart and their life, it can never be healed. And you cannot take a fucked up heart into the future of sovereignty, peace, love, and serenity with the world. Sorry, but that ain't going to happen. And so everything that's happening today is a part of the theatrics to bring people into that. I can't take it anymore because this is enough. I can't take it anymore. Enough is enough. And this finally get broken. And that's the process that we're on right now. And shit is about to hit the fan. We are about to witness some really crazy crap over the next 60 days. And don't get caught up in it, because the theatrics and the theater that's about to be presented to you is not what's really going on, but there are going to be parts of it that are going to be made to happen intentionally so that the visuals of reality with people being involved, and I'm talking just your everyday social media visuals, where that can be a part of it. It's just like what's happening in Iran right now. And with all of these explosions that's been happening to their bases and to their building facilities where their leadership is and all this, and that they've been for weeks now going, these are gas leaks, because they can't explain them because they're blowing up these fucking buildings from within, meaning there's boots on the ground that is inside there that are actually blowing these facilities up, and that they've been sitting there trying to deny it with these gas leak narratives to the public. And now, as of today, they're not even denying or saying this false narrative that there is a gas leak. They actually started flying the um, Muslim red flag, which when they show the Muslim red flag along with their flag, their country flag, basically that means that their country is in revenge. It's their blood flag of um, war, and that they're actually preparing themselves for the war that's about to take place. Well, what people don't understand is that we have technology that we could shut their country down in 10 minutes. And I'm talking their entire country. We've shut down country's power grid for 24 hours and then turned it back on. We've done it in the past. And with what happened with Maduro was intentional, so that the people, the average person within the military ranks of other countries could see and hear that we have technology, that there is nothing they can do to stop it. Nothing. We could actually take any country in the world in 24 hours, and there's nothing that anybody can do to stop us because of the technology and the weaponry that we have. They know it, and we know it. Trump has been telling people that we have it. And the situation is that we don't intend to use that for the destruction. We're going to use that technology to minimize the taking out of the things that need to be done, and for the strength with peace being a part of that. When you're the big dog, nobody's challenging the big dog because they know that they can't do anything about it. But when you do it as that big dog and you're there to bring peace and order and love and not domination and rule, then it's easy for people to then fall in line with that because they're not being taken advantage of. And right now, the stage is being set to bring people into their understanding of that their country, their people is going to be the priority of their leadership, or their leadership is not going to be their leadership, period. And that's where we're fucking at today.
I love it. Yeah, I was just telling the audience right before you came on to stay out of the noise, stay out of those people that are pushing all the uh, BS narratives. And, since we're talking about these BS narratives, I was talking to him a little bit about the Savannah Guthrie one. That's another circus show over there. So why don't you give us your thoughts on that, and then we'll go into some questions.
Well, her daughter actually was the founder of the fucking boot club. So you figure that out, okay?
It's a circus, everybody. Welcome to the circus.
It's like, come on, people. I mean, really, seriously. I mean, what what people don't understand is with the technology that we actually have with Palantir and the capabilities, there is absolutely no way in God's green earth that that actually took place and they didn't know where she is, if it actually took place at all and it was not a staged scenario for the distraction of people. Look at the left hand because we don't want to see you to see what's happening in the right hand. And that's the whole thing, is that everything is a distraction intentionally so that people can stay focused on the wrong thing, as everything that must be done will be done without people getting involved with trying to actually prevent it because they want to help. They want to think they need to have observation on it, or they're just the looky loos that people are. And so, as far as it goes, they don't give a shit about whether or not you are on board or not on board. The deal is that everything that's happening is happening intentionally to piss people off. And I mean, absolutely everybody, left, right, middle, Christian, non-Christian, Muslim, it don't fucking matter. You're all being pissed off on purpose. Why? Because in that chaos will become the part in which you find sovereignty and actually can bring healing to the things that need to be healed. Because emotionally, when you're in a basket case, that's whenever true healing can come. When you think you're in control of everything, that's when everything is pushed into the corner and it's never going to be dealt with, exposed, or actually ever accounted for. And so the things that are coming after the fact, that's whenever people will begin to actually look back and go, that was the best thing that ever happened because of whatever their becauses are, because that's the thing that's going to bring them to a place that they've never experienced before, ever. And that's the thing that's coming for everyone. And when people finally get to the point that the focus is going to be the real meaning behind all this, of the trafficking and the children that were being tortured, abused, eaten, and drank, however, and used for the sacrifice of that to the satanic rituals, all people, all are going to come together in unity for the first time in one accord. Just like Q told us, when they finally get to the point that it is all about the children, we will all find healing in that. And that's what's leading us up to that. But we can't get there until all of the other crap that is supporting it and been foreshadowing everything else to keep you out of the focus of it, then that is when true healing will bring us all together, and we will stop fighting, stop having the division between man, woman, liberation of, the rights and the women's lib and all this bullshit and the whites and blacks and racism. And it's all a design to keep people fighting with each other. And as long as people stay in that circle, in that perpetual cycle, then it's almost it's almost impossible to ever actually have healing and people coming together when they're staying in that loop. So that loop has to be destroyed. And the only way to destroy that is to take people to the place of the precipice of annihilation, whether it be physical, emotional, or financial, because all of that is where we're on the brink of. That's when people will finally have the will to change for the better, and that's where we're headed right now.
Amen. And I agree with you 100%. I'm starting to see that as well. All right, everybody. Captain is here. He typically gives us 90 minutes of his time. So if you guys would like to ask him a question, feel free to start raising your hands. We're going to go into some questions. So Miss Cal, your mic is unmuted. Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Kyle, I'd like to know if you can answer this question. Are we going to go to November and really have a midterm election like we would normally do under the corporation? It just doesn't seem feasible to me. Thank you.
I don't see that as a reality. Just put it that way. How they bring that into manifestation, I'm not really sure. I've got my own thoughts and ideas about how that's not going to happen, being that the fraudulent elections of 2020, all of Congress is there fraudulently because they were all elected during 2020 and 2022. And so, with all of the fraud, which vitiates all, then how do we have any resemblance of any kind of government, which we don't, because it's still, even to this day, still in a continuity of government, still actually we're under temporary martial law, or I should say not temporary, but limited martial law. So with that, it's like we have to have something, some mechanism or events to bring us into the point of that exposure and the transferring of the military control, and that going back into a actual republic and civil control being put back into place, because right now we don't have civil control. It's actually military. We are under a continuity of government, and all of that has been operating since 2017 in a limited capacity as well as a more continued capacity, bringing us into the bankruptcy of the um, old corporation, Trump signing the new declaration, and then reestablishing the republic. But we have to bring that into fruition and bring that into actual jurisdiction of the Western Hemisphere, which is all being done right now. And so, hey, another thing, when I was telling you that place that I'm going to, this is one of my little places that I go to all the time. I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to show you where I'm sitting and what's about to pass directly in front of my truck. And it's right here. that big old ship.
Is that another ship over to the left of it?
That's a
Uh,
tugboat with
uh,
parts and stuff. Yeah.
oh,
But the
damn.
ship is like, I mean, it's because of the camera, it doesn't look as big as it is. It's only like a
It's
couple,
huge.
it's only a couple hundred yards away from my truck where I'm at. I'm on this point. So
Yeah.
I don't, I don't,
It's
and
coming for you.
that ship itself is, I don't know, probably 450 feet long. It's more than a football field.
It's a big ship.
It's one, yes. So this is one of my honey holes that I come to watch the sun come up because it's pointing directly east. So, and right next to me is one of the marinas, not marinas, but the uh, ports. I'm not gonna say which port, but it is one of the ports here in the Houston Galveston ship channel. There's another ship that's coming that is down the way. You can see it. It's in the distance down there.
Are those people fishing next to you or trying to? Are those fishing poles?
Yes, there. And look out of the back of my truck. See right there in my mirror.
Oh, yeah.
Who's that? That's
Who is
John.
that?
That's John.
Ah. So you're in the Houston area. So what are you seeing with this Islamic, you know, going on down there?
So the whole thing with this is a part of the IRC, the Israeli. I'm not the Israeli, but the Iraqi bullshit, and with basically the Muslim Brotherhood, which has been classified as terrorist organization, because that's what it is. It's a ideology that has absolutely nothing to do with other than terroristic means to their end, which is complete domination and control, and bringing forth Sharia law, which is barbaric in its fucking nature and is ridiculous. And the situation is that even with, like you say, you've got these Somalis and you got all these people, right? The Somalis that are getting kicked out of the United States, even the freaking other countries around the world do not want them. Even Africa, all the other countries that are in Africa, they don't know. You're not sending them fucking Somalis back to us, period. Because they're freaking criminals. They are fraudsters, and we don't want anything to do with them, period. Well, this is all about the exposure of how they are, because their nature, they're not, they will not assimilate with anyone or anything, period. They have their own ideology, their own belief system, and to bring that into a country, you are bringing upon destruction intentionally to your people. And so if you were an actual person that was fleeing a poverty nation or a war torn country or anything of that nature, and you were a Muslim, wouldn't it be more beneficial to you that if you were that you would actually want to go to another country where the main religion was actually being a Muslim, and that it would be real easy for you to just begin to assimilate into their culture because y'all's cultures align, versus going to another country that is completely opposite, and you have every intention of trying to manipulate and to change their ideology and their belief system to yours versus the other way around. It is completely a system that is intentionally designed that they want to bring their ideology to every country in the world so that they can dominate and to take over the world. Absolutely there's no other intent. If you it's either you are going to convert to us or we're going to get rid of you. If we can't get rid of you, then we'll deal with you until the day comes that we can actually get rid of you. That is their mentality. And we cannot allow that to be a part of the American way or in our patriotic lives, and not just in America, but globally, period. So the entirety of this doctrine of Muslims and Jews, and I'm going to piss off some people, but I don't really fucking care because I'm done with being like sugarcoating to people and people liking it or not liking it. You can put your big boy pants on and put your big girl panties on and just freaking buck up. But the deal is that most of these religions were all created intentionally to bring division and controllability to the people, period. Most have absolutely nothing to do with actual spirituality. They sugarcoat spirituality all around it to make it like it's something that is obtainable, but it's all organized bullshit. And it's even designed specifically to keep us separated, period. It's just like Christianity. How many different forms of Christianity? You got Catholics, you got Baptists, and you got Methodists, and ours is right, yours is wrong, and it's all designed specifically to keep us fighting, divided, and has absolutely nothing to do with what Christ actually came here to do, which was one thing and one thing only. That was to show us who we are and to be the way shower for us all to actually walk. He was a rebel. He did not conform to the religious doctrine. He called them vipers and a den of snakes, period. And so this whole bullshit of the Muslim Brotherhood is nothing more than a terrorist organization that brings in and creates division and hate. And there is no place for any of that in our future, period. And as far as it goes, it is an unaccepted policy within Texas or anywhere in the United States for basically as far as our Constitution and for our laws. So with that, it's got to be exposed to people, the corruption that's a part of it, and people have to get to the point where it's like, we're not taking your shit anymore. You can either straighten up, assimilate, or you can go back home, period. And what's funny is that most of these people, once they've gotten deported and sent back home, you watch them on the internet now, they're boo-hooing and whining like a bunch of bitches. And good for you, because you had the opportunity of a lifetime staring you in the face, took advantage of it, and you manipulated the system. And I do not give one high hoots about your bullshit anymore, period. You spit in our face. And because of that, go fuck yourself. Excuse my French, but that's how I feel about it.
No, you're good, Captain Kyle. I think many feel that same way. So, and again, everybody, it's like Captain says, keyword here, everybody, is exposure. A lot of this stuff is by design. It's all exposure. It's meant for such a time as this, right? So it's not for us, it's for them. That's why I always say stay out of it. That everybody's just talking about the surface stuff. They're circling the drain with the same narrative. They don't ever move on from it. So Just remember exposure, exposure, exposure. And what they really want to do is they want to divide us. They want to separate the MAGA movement and try to say it's losing its ground. No, it's really gaining ground. So stay out of the noise, everybody. All right, guys. Captain's here for. Go ahead.
It's important for people to listen to a person's narrative over the long period, not just a month, not just a couple of months, and oh yeah, they seem to be right on, and then that's how they get you. That's how these influencers get you, is that their story continually actually changes over a period of time, and it's based upon basic, either clicks, or I've given you enough information to now get you hooked and feel trustworthy to you. And then I start leading you astray. But people that have actually never changed their narrative and has always stood 100% behind the military, behind the plan, and trusting the actual plan, that this was the long game and that things had to be happening all over the world, not just in our backyard, but everywhere. And that we have got one opportunity to completely clean the freaking house completely, not just partially, not most of it, but all of it. And when you have something that has been in the works for thousands of years, this cult of satanic worship, which has gone on forever. The situation is that they have played the long game to actually be in absolutely everything. And if they're in everything, you have to actually cut it all out, every part of it, because if not, it will come back, and it's like, if you don't deal with it, when it comes back, it's going to always be worse. And because now you've played your hand, you've played it out to the so-called fullest, and they can now wait and wait and wait until their opportunity arises to rear their ugly ass heads again and begin their crap all over again. No, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. And so the operation is to take it all down, clean it all out, and then once that is actually done, then the operation has already put in place backstops so that the world doesn't collapse. Energy, finance, all of those things have been backstopped, but they have to all be exposed. They all have to come down, and everybody is like, I don't see this, I don't see that. And it's like, wake up. What have you? There's so much for you to say that this is all happening, but you don't want to actually admit it. Because why? Why are you not wanting to admit it? Because you're not seeing it happen the way you want it to? Well, it doesn't matter what you want, because you're not the greater good. You're not the thing that's going to heal the entirety of the world. You might have your focus in what is important to you, but you're selfish. And if you're being selfish of what your wants and desires are, then it's not about we, it's about you, not us. And as far as it goes, this is about all of us. Where we go one, we go all, means that we're taking everybody. And so when I say people's hearts being exposed, there's a lot of people that have some really malice shit in their heart right now. Is it their fault? Some, yes, no, doesn't matter. The deal is that it's given people an opportunity to have their heart exposed and to actually bring a an opportunity so that healing can be brought to their heart, and that they can get to a place of being healed, being loved, and to be able to love other people and to do that. It's like right now, and every time Trump does this on purpose. Why? Because it's the best way to do something. You give people an opportunity over and over again on a way out. He gave people opportunities for them to have a way out multiple times. And it's like there comes a point where you've chosen not to give the opportunity that was given to you a actual means to happen. You've chosen something different. Well, because you chose something different, well, there's consequences for that choice. And it's just like with Iran right now. It's like he's given diplomacy, 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 diplomacy. Well, now comes the ass whipping because you didn't take the opportunity that was presented to you over and over again of a peaceful resolution. Well, now you're going to get the other one that I don't want to give you, but I'm going to give you because you didn't take this. What? He did the same thing with people in Congress. He did the same thing with people within the deep state. Over and over and over again, he said that you have the opportunity to be a whistleblower, to get out of this and to do these things. Well, they keep choosing the wrong path. Well, now the consequences are going to come. It's like even with the people that were here illegally, what was the first thing they did? If you self-deport, we'll give you the money, we'll let you go, and then you'll have an opportunity to come back. No matter what you were, why you were here, how long you were, self-deport, and we'll pay for it. We're going to give you money on top of that. And that gives you the opportunity to come back lawfully. But if you chose not to, well, then your ass is getting kicked out the other way. And people are not liking that. Well, who gives a shit? You're here illegally. You're already breaking our sovereign laws on being here. And we gave you the opportunity, a paid opportunity to go home or go back wherever you came from. And you chose not to do that. Well, now you are going to get the consequences of that. Well, it's the same with people's heart. Exposed it, you're going to have the opportunity to bring healing to that, to bring prosperity to yourself, and to go a different path. But if you choose not to go down that path, well, then there's going to be consequences for that. And with those consequences, they're your decision. You have free will and you will choose your destiny, period. It's plain and simple. It's a really simple process that we're in. And with people following individuals that are like on the internet and everything else, when their story goes based off of the stuff that's actually going on, instead of actually following a direct end, then it's like, why are you all talking about this? And it's like last month you were on that, and it's like you're upset and then you're happy, you're upset, you're happy, and you're so full of shit that people need not to be following you, period.
See, everybody, this is how wild it is out there. Not that you don't see it, many of you probably do, but if you don't, that's fine. That you're not sitting in these kind of like chat rooms or podcasts or whatever. It's wild out there. Captain Kyle is 100%. I mean, this is what's happening out there with a lot of these quote unquote fake these fake influencers, podcasters. So just be careful, everybody. All right. Tina B, go ahead. Your mic is unmuted. Go ahead, Tina B. All right. No Tina B. All right, here we go. Here's some on the back wall, Captain, for you. This is from Janine P. Any comment on how the school system will change since it is completely upside down? I wonder if they will be shut down for a period of time and then slowly reinvented. In my opinion, they don't serve those that need a quality education very well. I agree with that.
So the whole point was when they brought the school system into the indoctrination business, which was intent. When you have someone else actually raise your children for you and then can feed them with propaganda over their most critical developing years, that's what the problem has been. And so right now we are in the process of changing the education system and giving parents the opportunity for school choice and homeschooling and all these things, which that's what we should be doing anyway. But it was an intentional thing to keep moms and the family to where you had to have two incomes to be able to even survive having to raise your kids, not prosper, but to just survive. So with that, you have daycares and you have school systems. And then that is a breeding ground for their indoctrination program of the propaganda, the lies of education, because the education was not based upon fundamental truth. Reading, writing, and arithmetic was lost, and even the fundamentals of how an actual republic operates, they removed those things out of the school system because the dumber they can keep you, the easier it is to keep you lied to. And the more they keep you busy because you have to stay busy just to survive, then you've got no time to even challenge it or to even do any kind of research to make any kind of informed choice of something different. Well, when that changes and people have the freedom, which they're going to be able to do whatever they want and not what they have to survive, when our financial means changes in our near future, because it's happening way faster than what people think. With robotics and AI and the technology that's coming, it's happening way faster than people have any idea really is. And in that's why Elon and others have been talking about the universal basic income, basically the sovereign wealth fund, and all these things to be able to bless people financially instead of keep people financially crippled and having to work like basic slaves, because that's all you were, was chattel to them, cogs in the wheel for them to keep things going. And schools were designed to keep you as good little workers, worker bees. And if you challenge the system, squish, we didn't need you anymore, out of the system. Well, the whole education system is being completely changed and it will be redone. And in that, there's going to be a dramatic change, because even all of the adults that think that they know history and everything's going to be have to be relearned, basically, because it's all a lie, all of it. um and with technology and with the changes, though, our abilities as we ascend and we go to where we're headed, our ability to learn and comprehend is going to be dramatically increased. And when we have the children, their basic understandings and learnings are going to be that basic, meaning reading, writing. Kids today don't even know how to write cursive. They don't even know how to read it. That is appalling. And when people begin to start to read again and write and be able to do mathematics, and I mean doing mathematics where you can actually do them in your head and not have to use a calculator or whatever. It's nice to have those things, but it's made people stupider intentionally. How many phone numbers, if you didn't have your phone, do you actually know by heart? How many addresses do you know by heart? Most don't. And it's basically the idea behind all of that is intentionally to make people more reliant on the supplemental things versus actually learning them. And all of this is going to change. The education system is going to change everything. And so, how they shut it down or whether they implement it, nobody has a real understanding of that, but is all going to happen. And to put any kind of like worry or focus on it is, I wouldn't put too much into it because it's coming. And the thing is that you within your own community will have a direct control over that ability of how your children of your community are educated and raised within your community. That is coming.
Thank God. Can't come soon enough, right? All right. Thank you, Captain. All right. Here's one from Vicky Vale. Will they allow cruise ships to continue offshore should the EBS occur or outage of or outages for communication? Sorry about that. Got tongue tied.
So, in my opinion, something is going to happen that's going to be able to suspend potentially the travel like that so that people don't get caught up in a situation where they are, 3 days from shore or something like that. Um, there's going there's going to be unrest to where planes, trains, all that kind of travel stuff is going to come to kind of a halt. And in that, that's where the EBS itself is going to come up. Um, People are going to have the opportunity to be able to get back to their homes, to get back to their homelands. They're not going to be stuck in some foreign nation. But in that process, um, it's going to be difficult. But there's going to be warnings that are going to be like red flags that are going to come before that actually happens. Like when you have travel um, uh, notices, right? Where if you're traveling to a specific country, then you should always look at the travel notices before actually going there. Why? Because the State Department then put those up to warn you of specific potentials that you could be exposed to if going to that country. And there's going to be, before that actually happens, I think there's going to be some real big red flags going. You don't need to go nowhere. Don't really go. And so it's going to kind of keep people from that travel experience unless they have to, not just because they want to. And that's going to be based upon the events that are going to take place that are going to lead us up to that. So the EBS is going to be something that happens globally, and it's going to be something that takes us to that. So the events are going to lead us up to that event. And before then, it's going to be to where you're not going to want to be in a situation putting yourself at some kind of potential risk during that period of time. So people look at it like, oh, today's what's going on, and then all of a sudden, shit hits a fan. The EBS happens tomorrow, and I was on a cruise tomorrow, and I'm like, already 2 days at sea or whatever. And no, I mean that's all been put into the um, gaming of gaming out all of these circumstances before they happen. How do we minimize that potentiality before it actually happens?
Thank you, Captain. All right, here's one from Tamara M. Estimate on timing for the Red Sea moment. We need it so badly. Hopefully soon.
Tomorrow. It's coming tomorrow. Right about noon, be expecting it. I don't freaking know. Nobody does. That's in God's hands. And if we knew, then it would be not necessarily a, it would not be beneficial for us to know before it actually happened. Because why? Because we're all experiencing that trust in God, ourselves, the people that are around us, to be walked to that obstacle and then have the end right in front of us, because that's what it is. The Red Sea moment is that there is nothing that I can't go this way. I'm trapped. This is our demise. Got the army that is behind me, and I'm trapped, and I'm gonna be doomed. There's no other way out of this but God.
Amen to that. Amen. Okay, here's a good one for you. It's from Sherry. My small town is raising some cane about the data centers that are going to be built here. Is this any concern to electric, water, or health issues to farm animals?
No, no, and no. The deal is that this is all a part of where we're headed. Okay. The We have more water in reality than we could ever actually. There's so much water, it's under our feet, in the ground. There's oceans of pure, clean water underground. It's all been false. Everything has been a scarcity to keep people in fear and control, period. Just like everybody's worried about energy and all this stuff. Well, they have technologies of energy that is, we never have to worry about energy ever again, ever. And it's funny because they all of a sudden have this, technology of nuclear, not the same kind of nuclear like it's been the giant nuclear, crap hole that you got to worry about, the 3 Mile Island event or Chernobyl. And that nuclear reactor was put inside of a freaking plane and is being traveled to its destination and will be online and fully operational in the next several months.
All righty, thank you, Captain. All right, let's go with Terry Gazinski up here on the. Your hand was raised. Your mic is unmuted. Go ahead. Go ahead, Terry. Push the blue button. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Shaw. Your mic is unmuted.
Good evening, and thank you very much for letting me speak.
Of
I'll be
course.
very quick. In listening and trying to keep the big picture in mind, I heard Robert talking about the Western Hemisphere, and that brought to mind about birth certificates and identification. How do you see that changing? I mean, if it's all the Western Hemisphere, and do you understand where I'm kind of going with it? Because I don't know how to form the question.
So, yes. And so we're going to have identification, but the deal is it's not going to be used by the way that it was used in the past to actually profitize from us as a straw man for us to be chattel. It's going to be our sovereign ID, and it will be based upon us as a individual. And in that, the Americas is just that, Americas. And it is the Western Hemisphere. And it will all follow under this doctrine that when we get to where we're headed, there will be borders. But for us to be able to travel, all of this needing a passport and having to have a visa and permission and all of that is going away, period. But we have to get to the point where we eliminate the criminal and the criminal organizations that operate within that and extort it for their gain And once that is done, which we're getting really close to that, once that actually happens, then true freedom of travel and everything else will then be able to be obtained.
So the star ID, was I okay in getting that? People have said I was setting myself up to be controlled.
I have it.
I have it too.
The
Okay,
real
thank you.
ID. I have a TWIC card. I have all those cards. And I am not concerned one bit. Why? Because that was a part of the controlling apparatus, but it is not the end game.
Thank you, Captain. Did that answer your questions, Shaw?
Absolutely. He always does. Thank you both very much. God bless you.
You're welcome. And again, that goes back to don't listen to the fear mongering, because a lot of people are talking about the real ID and yes, setting people up for being controlled. So just stay with the ones that you feel comfortable with, i.e. Captain Kyle. I think I just heard you say he always answers your questions and you feel comfortable with them. So yeah, stay out of those types of conversations because that's what they want to do is keep you in fear.
It's all based on fear. Because when people are in fear, they can be controlled and manipulated. But if
Yes.
you're not in fear, then you are not controlled, no matter what you have or don't have. Period.
Amen. Thank you, Captain. Always another voice, calm to the storm, everybody. Captain Kyle here.
Hey, I want to say something else. So,
Sure.
all right. So, all of my admins, 100% of them, operate from the doctrine that I give to them, which is this very thing, to operate that they love you and to keep you moving in the direction of looking forward to where you want to go. And they do it strictly out of the love of their heart. And that everything is not about getting an emotional rise out of you and to trying to get you to do something. It's basically there to inform you so that you can make informed decisions without operating in fear. Because if you are fearless, you are walking as what God wanted you to be, period. And if you truly knew that you were a son and daughter of the creator of all things, why do you operate in so much fear? Period. Fear of finance, fear of marriage, fear of death, fear, 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 fear. But if you don't have any fear, then you actually can be in complete peace. And every single day, be grateful for the opportunities in life that give you the love that you were meant to be. And what's important is that Kelly, as the one that actually is, she actually is so much, she's so important to me because if she didn't do those things that she does with my admins and with her, running the channel day in and day out, would not allow me to do the things that I do, to be able to focus on not the noise, but to focus on the vision of our future, the spirituality that I need to, and to operate within my actual job that I do, and to do that at 100% of my ability. So without Kelly and without my admins, I would not be the person that I am today. Period. I cannot tell people how important they are because that's what teams bring us. So when we come together, when we as a people come together, when our countries become together, it can all be rowing in the right direction. And together, we can accomplish absolutely anything. And so that's been their whole thing, to keep us divided, keep us in fear, keep us fighting one another. so that we cannot obtain those things in which God has blessed us all with.
Thank you, Captain. All right, Farm Girl 007. Go ahead. Your mic is unmuted.
Hi, everybody. Just a quick question about education. I can't help but think that President Trump's first Secretary of Education, Betsy DeVos, who just so happens to be Eric Prince's sister, may have had possibly a dual purpose, and wondering what your thoughts are on that.
Everyone's got a dual, triple, quadruple purposes. What people see and what they don't see. Absolutely. So
Gotcha.
it's like Marco Rubio, right? He's got 9 different hats. And the funny thing is just a few years ago, he was not even considered to be potentially a good guy. Just gonna leave it at that.
Yep. Thank you, Farm Girl. Thank you, Captain. All right, Love Warrior 1717. Go ahead. Your mic is unmuted. Go ahead, Love Warrior 1717.
Hey, I didn't. I just did not want to speak. I was just trying to get in on the listening. So anyway, I'm cool.
Thank you.
I didn't have.
All right, Tanya Rubino. Go ahead. Your mic is unmuted. Go ahead, Tanya. You requested a mic. Your mic is unmuted. All right, we're going to move on. Jackie B. Your mic is unmuted. Go ahead, Jackie B. Everybody, if you guys request a mic, please speak up because Captain Kyle gives 90 minutes of his time, so I'd like to be respectful of that. So Jackie B, going once, going twice. All right, let's see. Cal. Oh, wait. Who's that? All right. Carolina girl, go ahead. I just unmuted your mic. Your mic is unmuted. Go ahead, Carolina girl. Can nobody hear me? Captain, can you hear me?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, Cal. I'm gonna meet you again. Go ahead, Cal. Well, where'd she go? Oh, there you are. Go ahead, Cal. Your mic is unmuted.
One more question, Captain. What do you think is going to happen to Bitcoin through all of this financial changes in the world?
So in the Epstein files that were just released, there's documentation in there that Bitcoin was actually a instrument that was taken over and controlled and manipulated by Israel. Imagine freaking that. So it was never something that was a means of actual real wealth. It was always designed to be something that was used by the criminal element that was supposed to be operated on the blockchain and was untraceable. Well, we found out that that necessarily wasn't true when quantum computing took over and the white hats actually started using the quantum computer to be able to do that very thing, track, trace, and to apprehend those that were actually using it for nefarious paying solutions. So I've always thought that it was going to end up being exposed and then turn to basically nothing and worthless. But over the years, it's actually turned out to be that it may not be used, that it goes to zero like it was thought to be over the years because of what it's actually turned out to be. Something that they've made it into this value of wealth, money wise, per coin, which it really has no inherent value whatsoever. But I don't believe that they're going to intentionally crash it to destroy all of the people that are on or have Bitcoin that used it as a means to obtain wealth. It's like Trump has always talked about how he doesn't want to crash the housing market as well, because even though people are in a house that is, say, valued at $450,000, and that their largest wealth asset is that, and that if it was really valued at what it would really be worth, it may be only worth 100 grand or 150 grand, not 450 or 500 of its overvalued at price, that it would basically undermine the wealth of people. And so that if they do it in a way that the financial system is reformed and people actually become inherently wealthy because of the CISA account, because of your bonds that you actually have that you don't even know about. And then those things that are inherently unvaluable, like Bitcoin, could basically at that point, because it wouldn't be that dramatic. Because why? Because you got a bunch of monies that you didn't even know you had, and now you're inherently wealthy and your life changed. Then if your house value then actually went and corrected to its actual real value and was, from where like the value of a dollar is actually depreciated 98% of its actual real value over the last 110 years. um and then your house value was valued, because everything will revalue based off of the actual buying power of the new financial dollar, and that will correct itself by itself. It's like, now that you have a real value, a real store value of a dollar, are you going to use that real value of a dollar to buy something that is only 2 cents in value, and that it's actually being asked for, say, $5, and it's only valued at that really, you know 2 to 3 cent value? No, you're not going to use that real dollar to pay for that. And so the market will automatically begin to correct itself, because people won't use that real buying power to pay that inflated value of the old value of that fake ass dollar that's still out there on something. It's going to correct itself. So that's why when we say that prices are going to go back to the 50s and that nature, because that's when the dollar was closer to its real value and the buying power was really still there. It was only, I think, at that point in the 50s, it was only like um, 10 or 20% off of its actual buying value from the 1913s. And so from back in that day. And so everything will correct itself, but it's going to correct itself based on the market value, and people won't actually pay for it. So Bitcoin at that point, I think, will become still a store of value, but not this bogus, inflated, crazy, speculated price, because it's really obtained by nothing of value. Nothing.
Is it possible at all that they could dissolve it into, say, XRP?
I don't think that they'll dissolve it into XRP, because we were never supposed to have XRP ever to begin with. Um, but I think that, like how the United States has bought a bunch of Bitcoin, they've actually, uh, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Possessed, like repossessed and taken over people's finances that were caught up in trafficking and all kinds of these other things. And in that, it's got a store of value, but what are they going to actually tie it to? And is it going to have any kind of value going forward other than maybe like like a I don't even know how to put the word, because it's like it it's not going to have anything that's inherently valued other than whatever they tie it to, um because it's not, it has no utilitarian purpose whatsoever. And so with that, can't be used. It really can't be done other than, maybe that they say that, okay, fix it at a price. This is what it is. And based upon the new money and based upon the reevaluation, it's fixed at this. You can either keep it, get rid of it, but it's not going to be something that's going to be speculated anymore. And its value is not going to go up or down. So do with it what you may. I can see that happening to it more so than anything else.
Thank you.
Thank you, Captain. Thank you, Cal. All right, Asnana, go ahead. Your mic is unmuted.
Hi, Captain Kyle. Hi, Jenny. Hey, Jenny, I just wanted to let you know that when you unmute them, Telegram is muting them back. So you don't see it on your end, but we can see it on ours. Telegram's been messing up the last couple of days. Just wanted to let you know, because a couple people you called on, their mics were muted on this other end. After you unmuted it, I seen it, but it muted it back.
Oh, well, thank you for the information. I appreciate that. A lot of glitchy stuff going on between these platforms. Thank you, Asnana.
It's not just these platforms. So, like my phone, and this has happened with my wife. It's happened between me and Kelly. Like our texts are not going through, and some phone calls aren't going through. And my wife is constantly going, "Did you get my text?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Look, I sent it and it shows that it went through. I didn't get it." I send her a text right back after, being in presence with her. It goes to her. And then she can turn around at that point, send me another text. And it's like everything seems to be glitching, right? Everything is glitching.
Is this kind of a test for what's to come?
Just letting people know that everything is not as it appears. There's a lot of spooky wookies that are happening out there. So
Thank you, Captain. Thank you, Asnana. Okay, go ahead, Janet. See, your mic is unmuted. Go ahead, Janet. Is your mic unmuted on your end? It's unmuted on my end. If not, drop down and come back up and I'll re-unmute you. All right, so I'm going to go here and read.
Hi,
Oh, there
Yep.
you go. Go
can you hear
ahead.
me?
Go ahead.
Hi, Jen. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Captain Kyle.
Hello.
I pushed the wrong button. But I wanted to say thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. And I appreciate it. And I listen to all your podcasts. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you for being here, because without you guys, the audience, and my guests, the Revival of America wouldn't be. So thank all of you for having the want and the will to come in here. All the times I have my shows, all the time Captain Kyle has his shows, whatever it may be, we appreciate your guys' support for sure. All right, let's try this again. Colorado Mama, go ahead. Your mic is unmuted.
Okay, I'm hot and going. I'm on this Bitcoin topic, Jenny and Captain Kyle. Today there was a supposed interview putting out that Eric Trump was saying, "Oh yeah, we're bullish on Bitcoin." Well, I do know that in the market today, there's major people dumping Bitcoin and Ethereum both. So getting the facts on this and who you listen to is huge. And so, yeah, I just wanted to add that in. I think it was an AI bot putting this thing out, this whole interview thing. It was a meeting at Mar-a-Lago today, and there is a executive order signed today. I haven't seen it exactly as it is, but I just wanted to bring that, add it, and dovetail.
Thank you.
Well, there's a website that you can actually search the Epstein files, and it makes it really easy. It's like having where it's like basically set up like a an email, like it's your actual email. You can do searches, do everything. And you can actually search the emails about Bitcoin that's in the Epstein files. And it'll actually tell you that Jerusalem actually um, took influence over Bitcoin back in the day, and that the uh, engineers that were a part of Bitcoin and the blockchain and all of that, basically, it was influenced completely, manipulated completely, and was completely controlled. And it was not something that was generic in the way that it was supposed to grow or deflate in value and all that other kind of stuff. It was all a lie, every bit of it. And in my opinion, it was the testing ground for the blockchain to come out for the control, 100% control of the finances of people worldwide before the White Hats actually took over and then took over control of the financial system.
Thank you, Captain. Thank you, Colorado Mama. Okay, Shauna, go ahead. Your mic is unmuted. Go ahead, Shauna. Can you see that your mic's unmuted? If not, drop down. I will bring you back up. All right, Captain.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hi, Captain Kyle. Hi, Jenny. Here's my question. My husband and I moved from the Tucson area about 4 years ago to rural Arkansas to help care for my aging parents. And I'm out on a dirt road in beautiful country, but living in a place where, you know, you talk about the Galactic Federation. I've heard many other people talk about that. I hear about Trump disclosing possibly sometime this year about off-world entities helping us. And I look at these wonderful people around me, but they're very into their Bible believing Baptist church or whatever Pentecostal church. How are we going to help them make the leap?
So the deal is that there's going to be the disclosure that comes along with it, and that the fundamental truths of their doctrine of being a good person and to love your neighbor and to do no harm and those kind of things are going to be the foundation of who they are no matter what. And they're not going to completely fall apart like you would expect them to.
Okay.
Because their world basically got crushed, because the Spirit of God is also going to reveal himself in that transition. So that's been something that bothered me for a long time, because my father, like I said, my father-in-law is a prophet, my wife's ordained minister, and I've gone through these same kinds of questions on how is the church, and not just the church, but all religions, how are they going to deal with the lie of who we are, where we came from, and our history? And that's not going to be something that you have anything to do with. Because why? That's the Spirit of God's responsibility, and he will reveal himself to all, not some, all, in his truth, who they are, in the truth that's coming.
I appreciate that. They are such wonderful people. I'm volunteering at our little town food bank, and I meet the kindest, most loving people. They're living from their hearts, you can tell. And I think about this information, and your answer is helping me. So thank you very much.
Yeah, and it's like this. It's like, how do you expose to that wonderful Catholic that their religious doctrine has all been on idol worship of the mind.
Mhm.
And it has nothing to do with the person, it has to do with the entity of that church. Their fundamental beliefs of Christianity is doctrinally correct. Not completely, but enough that we'll be able to have a transition of Christ came to show us who we are and the way we are to live. And he told us, even then, that why are we waiting on his return? Because the kingdom of God is already here. It's already inside of you. And so God will reveal that because he is the one that reveals anyway. It's not for you. It's always for you to be the sower. He is the one that brings it to fruition. It's like whenever you put a seed in the ground, you do absolutely nothing to bring that to life. Even by water, you are just a facilitator. You don't bring forth the life. He does. He's going to bring the life to the transition of their reality. So you stand with them in love and allow God's Spirit to be God, and He will.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Captain. Thank you, Shauna. Captain, how you doing on time, my friend?
One more.
All right, you got it. Okay, so this is from, let me see, Papa God's Child. When we go to the QFS system, will our automatic payments and deposits we have set up now roll over, and will we need to get new debit cards? Thank you for your knowledge. God bless you and everyone on this channel.
All of that will have to be made new. So none of the old system is going to operate because that was a part of the old system. You will have new means of uh, cards, if you want to call it cards and stuff. Most of that stuff's going to happen based on your phone, kind of like Apple Pay, but it's going to be even simpler than that. And 1000% more secure and safe. But like the point of sales and all that kind of stuff through the financial system that's coming, uh, it's going to be very similar to the things in which we do now because that similarity is going to make it easy for people to transition, but it's not going to have the difficulties of the bugs of the crap that we have now all infested within the internet we use today. So the simplicity of it is what's going to make it very easily for people to transition into, because they're not going to have to learn a whole new system and have to learn all this new stuff because it's going to be so simplistic in its nature because it is unhackable and it's unmanipulative, where it can't be manipulated, it can't be hacked. So you don't have to have all these 9 million freaking passwords that you can't remember that have to be changed. And then when you forget it, you have to change it again, or it got now hacked and your stuff is out there on the internet and you're vulnerable. All that's going to go away in the new systems that are coming. And because of that, it's going to make things so much more easy, and it's going to be based upon your own biometrics that are specific to you and you alone.
Cut down on the thievery, huh?
It's going to eliminate it.
Yep.
And it's going to eliminate the fraud and corruption. It's just like right now that all this fraud that's being exposed, they say that over half of the entire federal budget is fraud.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. We'll probably find out that it's a bigger number than that, right, here in the near future.
I would highly suspect it, but just think that if they have a budget of, say just for $5 trillion, and 2.5 trillion of that is all fraud, waste, and abuse. It just is hard for people to fathom that. And so that's why it's kind of being brought out in these chunks that people can, kind of swallow over a period of time. And then there's another chunk and another chunk. It's kind of like how you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. Because when you look at the overwhelming massiveness of it all and say it's all fraud, and it's like it can't be. You can't fathom it because it's so overwhelmingly big. But you do it one step at a time, and over time, you've consumed the entirety of it. And that's the process that we're going through right now of the criminal, the government, the fraud, the trafficking, the children. Everything's happening chunk by chunk by chunk so people can process it and not go freaking crazy in the process. But they're going to be brought to the near edge of crazy in that process so it can actually be broken.
I think we've already seen some people be brought to that crazy. But anyway, everybody, thank you, Captain Kyle. We've missed you. Hopefully you will make it back here in 2 weeks, depending on your work schedule and obviously your life schedule. Does that sound like a possibility for you?
No, not right now. So it'll have to be in 4 weeks. So right now it's kind of like it's going to be a once a month type situation, and then
Okay.
later it changes. It changes. If not,
Oh,
where we're going to be.
you know what? You did tell me that. I do apologize, everybody. Captain did tell me it's going to be about once a month right now, possibly up until springtime. So he did tell me that. I do apologize, Captain. So once a month, everybody. He'll be back here in 4 weeks. Captain, we missed you. We love you. Thank you for being here. And again, for your great knowledge and just your calm through this craziness. We loved hearing you.
Amen. And people, don't get caught up in the noise. Seriously, it's important that you stay focused, stay grounded in your truth, and become an actual real witness, an observer, and not a an individual that passes judgment on everything. It's not for you to judge. It's for you to participate in and to be a witness to.
Amen. Thank you, Captain. We'll talk to you soon. And everybody here, have a great rest of your evening. And come back for tomorrow. It's going to be John Baxter with anti-aging, and then Phil McConnell on Friday. So with that, everybody, God bless. God bless you, Captain. Take care of yourself, you and your wife. You're always in my prayers, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Love you guys. Good night.
Love you, Captain.